Mission to the Moon. Continue with your mission.
Hello, and welcome to the Mission to the Moon podcast. I'm Rawit Hanutsaha, and today I want to share my experience of organizing a teaching event. Specifically, it was a class that I conducted. Towards the end of the course, I had the pleasure of having Mr. Joe Thana as a special guest. In his recent session, Mr. Thana Thianacharya touched upon various topics. However, there was one topic that greatly intrigued me, the currency of life. He initiated the discussion by highlighting the importance of money for individuals. No one can deny this fact, but we must be cautious not to become consumed by it, as excessive focus on financial wealth may cause us to overlook other valuable aspects of life. Consequently, I requested permission to delve deeper into this topic through writing and podcasting. He articulated that the currency of life comprises 4 crucial components: money, experience, memories, and gratitude. Let's commence with money. From a monetary standpoint, it is widely acknowledged that money holds immense significance. It facilitates a smoother course in our lives, enabling us to enjoy a higher quality of life. Moreover, money affords us precious time. In reality, the desire for financial abundance is universal, including my own aspirations. Nonetheless, when it comes to acquiring wealth, desiring wealth as a means to everything implies that there is nothing inherently wrong with working hard and being diligent to earn a substantial income. The point at which it becomes problematic is when we prioritize money and neglect other important aspects of life. For example, if you are not strong enough, the world has alternatives that offer a lot of money. You don't have to work hard or do the wrong thing. This world will offer you a lot of opportunities to make money in the wrong way. If people are not strong-minded enough and go that way, the price they have to pay later is enormous. Many people decide to do illegal things, open gambling websites, sell drugs, get caught, go to jail. Some people go and deceive other people by doing pyramid schemes. They are also arrested and go to jail. Some people will fall victim to pyramid schemes out of greed. Some people abandon their own honor for money. These things are not worth it. If we are going to make money, no matter how much money you earn, it is crucial to uphold your integrity and reputation, as they are indelible components of your character. Honesty, albeit slow, is the key. I concede that it might seem sluggish compared to quick riches acquired through unlawful means. Whenever I come across news about individuals who engage in illegal activities yet amass wealth, I can't help but ponder over the fact that legitimate labor yields money at a slower pace. Earning money through honest means may take longer, but it is truly valuable. It can be tempting to feel envious of those who resort to cheating, but having integrity is the key to building a strong base. The costs of being dishonest are far greater than what we usually realize. On the other hand, it doesn't address whether something is true, honest, or dishonest. It focuses instead on time spent. Many people get so focused on money that they overlook what's truly important, their health. We end up trading our health for it. Some people manage this balance well, while others are less fortunate. Some pursue their goals without prioritizing their health, and although they may have a strong foundation, they might still face illness or struggle with hard-to-treat diseases. But there are individuals who do not fit this description. They sacrifice their well-being by exerting excessive effort and neglecting other aspects of life. These aspects include family, friendship, love, and health, all of which must be balanced. The reason for this equilibrium is simple. Imagine a life with abundant wealth, but lacking in these essential components. Without good health, supportive family, loyal friendships, and genuine love, money alone cannot bring true happiness, right? I recall Mr. Joe sharing an insightful anecdote about a gentleman named Mr. Jick. I believe I read it in a Facebook post or perhaps in a book, though I am uncertain. Mr. Jick comes to mind, and I must admit that I did not have many opportunities to interact with him personally. Maybe I crossed paths with him once or twice, but there is one occasion that remains etched in my memory. Mr. Jick kindly authored a book for me, an act that remains unforgettable. In that book, Mr. Jick conveyed the notion that success stems from making the right decisions. Making these correct choices originates from experience, and experience is cultivated by making mistakes along the way. This is a fundamental facet of life. We witness others triumph, or ponder upon our own actions, and advise our younger siblings. Why did we make such detrimental choices, we might ask. Nevertheless, we must acknowledge that every day we make the right decision, we progress towards success. Achievement is built upon accumulated experience, and such experience derives from learning from wrong decisions. This brings to mind a notable event, one that may have captivated the attention of many individuals, the darkest hour. 1940 May. London retrospective. Imagine the sound of bombs. England is sad. Winston Churchill bore witness to the capital enduring a relentless onslaught during the height of World War II. England was gripped by its darkest hour, ominously referred to as the darkest hour. Winston Churchill found himself facing yet another critical crossroads. The resounding cries for peace talks with Hitler echoed throughout the halls of Parliament, carried on the lips of numerous MPs and influential figures in society. Even some of the elitists, the most learned minds, advocated for such negotiations. However, despite the wavering conviction within Churchill's own cabinet, his wealth of experience reminded him that surrendering in droves held no solution. In that moment, Churchill cast his gaze upon the vast expanse of history that he held dear. a lifetime of studying its intricacies ingrained in him a sense of obligation. Remembering the blunders of disarmament after World War I and allowing the re-emergence of Germany's formidable might, he understood with unwavering clarity that capitulating at this critical juncture would inevitably unleash calamity on an even grander scale. Braving immense difficulty, he declared, "We will fight until the very end." Winston Churchill acknowledged that his leadership would guide the empire through perilous times, yet he remained steadfast in his belief that only through unwavering commitment could freedom and democracy be preserved. On one fateful day, before the solemn presence of the House of Representatives, he summoned every ounce of determination within himself, his voice trepidation tinged, yet laden with resolute resolve. With bated breath, he delivered his eloquent and immortal words. "We shall persist, no matter what lies ahead. We shall wage war in France across the vast seas and boundless oceans, as our confidence and strength burgeon within the azure skies. Our homeland shall be defended at any price, on the beaches and landing grounds alike. In the fields and streets, in the hills that dot our land, we shall fight valiantly. Surrender shall never find solace within our hearts." His powerful words resonated throughout England, filling the hearts of the people with renewed hope. This ignited a fire within them, compelling them to rise and confront the Nazis with unwavering determination. Eventually, their tenacity prevailed, and they emerged victorious. The more detailed tale suggests that Churchill, through today's speech, clearly demonstrated that it is through experience and courage that the course of world history can be altered. A solitary decision by the leader of a nation at that critical juncture forever changed the destiny of the entire world. I cannot begin to imagine the catastrophic consequences that would have ensued if England had succumbed to the Nazis on that particular day. Another interesting aspect is the creation of lasting memories. Each one of us has the ability to generate meaningful and valued memories. I was particularly captivated by a story shared by Mr. Joe. He recounted a time when he left DTAC and often spoke highly of his former boss, Mr. Sigve, the CEO of DTAC. Their time working together left an indelible impression on Mr. Joe. They all went our separate ways. Mr. Sigve went back to Norway and Mr. Joe went his own way. They didn't keep in touch much. Apart from important days, they would send messages to each other. It was probably similar to Line. They sent line messages. One day, after 7 or 8 years had passed, Mr. Joe received a long-distance phone call that started with the letters 4 and 7. When he answered, he was surprised. Mr. Joe even joked that he might not pick these days because it might be the call center. But on that day, when I received the call insisting me to accept, I was taken aback by the caller's identity, as it turned out to be Mr. Sigve. His purpose was to inform me that he would be delivering a speech in 30 minutes, during which he officially accepted the role of Group CEO at Telenor, a position he had coveted for quite some time. He was already aware of Mr. Sigve's ambitions. In a brief statement, Mr. Sigve acknowledged our close relationship, stating, "Thana, I want you to know that you are a part of it." This call exceeded our expectations and left a lasting impression on him as a fond memory. Joe speculated that he might not have been the sole recipient of Mr. Sigve's call. Perhaps he had reached out to 20 or 30 other individuals. Although the conversation was short, consisting of only 2 sentences, its significance impacted Joe deeply, as Mr. Sigve acknowledged his subordinate role. Joe never anticipated that he would be remembered by someone as influential as Mr. Sigve. Thus, it was truly remarkable. Concluding his account, Mr. Joe shared an intriguing insight, emphasizing the importance of creating a list of people to contact, if ever in a similar situation. According to him, does this not only ensure a lasting memory for them, but also enhances the overall experience. Speaking of memorable encounters, I recollect an interview with Mr. Oat Promote that stands out. Known for his immense popularity and a massive fan base, I once asked Oat whether he ever grew weary of fans approaching him in public places such as the supermarket, where they often requested to take photos together. His response was both candid and heartwarming. Oat explained that he's always excited to take these photos and goes the extra mile to make each one the best it can be. In fact, if a picture doesn't turn out well, he is more than happy to retake it. He is fully mindful of the fact that the individuals who approach him may have been following his career for a decade, and this might be their only chance to meet him in person. We must ensure that this memory becomes unforgettable. Upon hearing this story, I couldn't help but reflect on my own experiences. While I may not have the same level of fame as Mr. Oat, whenever I attend events or give lectures, I am frequently approached by people asking to take pictures with me. In the past, after delivering a 3-hour lecture, I would often find myself spending an additional 30 to 45 minutes posing for photos. To be honest, the exhaustion would often prevent me from genuinely smiling. Instead, my smile would appear forced and insincere. Observers must have noticed this and considered it rather unpleasant. It's for this reason that I decided to change my approach. I resolved to actively cultivate positive and memorable experiences during my lectures, not just in terms of the content I presented. Nowadays, when I give a lecture, I view it not merely as a speech, but as a performance, requiring all my energy. I prioritize getting sufficient rest to ensure that I have the stamina to deliver that energy to the audience. Interestingly, this doesn't tire me more than a regular lecture, yet the outcomes are vastly distinct. After I finish speaking, if there are no outstanding commitments, I will gladly set a specific time for any additional requests. I always provide a clear estimate of the duration I'll dedicate. For those who attend with the intention of capturing photographs, I am open to taking pictures and signing books. Most importantly, I need to be mindful not to smile excessively. Each smile captured must be presented beautifully and sincerely. Similar to Oat's perspective, this encounter may be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Hence, let's strive to create fond memories for them. Although some days we might feel fatigued, or face unforeseen challenges, we should remember that there are always 108 reasons to continue our journey. However, if our intention is to create positive and lasting memories, they will inevitably materialize. Sometimes, even the simplest acts have the power to make an impact, such as when a colleague attends a meeting. Whenever I go to the studio, whether it's for my work with Srichand or on a mission, if I don't have any other prior commitments, I always make it a point to personally escort guests to their vehicles. This is a practice I also follow with my school friends. Despite any conflicts that may arise at work, we all make an effort to refrain from speaking ill of one another. It is crucial to be mindful and keep our emotions under control. This rule applies even more so when it comes to our family, close friends, and partners. Often, unintentionally, we let our guard down with those closest to us and behave poorly out of habit. It is important to recognize that nothing is as valuable as the memories we create and carry throughout our lives. Therefore, let us strive to create as many positive memories as we can, capturing precious moments whenever possible. A word of thanks is like a currency for the network of people who are a giver. Mr. Joe is someone I truly admire for his selflessness. Whenever I invite him, he always manages to make time for me, despite being incredibly busy. No matter what the issue is, Mr. Joe is just a phone call away and always answers promptly. I can always count on him when I need guidance or assistance with work-related matters. Whether it's connecting with a particular company or seeking advice, Mr. Joe has an extensive network of contacts. His impressive track record includes organizing the successful ABC course for over 10 generations and creating numerous helpful how-to guides. Thanks to Mr. Joe, I've had the privilege of meeting people I wouldn't have otherwise had the opportunity to know. He has graciously played the role of a bridge, facilitating connections between me and the individuals I wanted to connect with. Sometimes I have a problem that I can't solve by myself, so I go to consult with him. He sometimes gives advice. Sometimes he says, "Hey, I can't answer this question, but another person might be able to answer it. Help solve this problem." He said that this is what he does. One day, 2 or 3 times. It's called a year. In 1 year, he helps thousands of people, giving them the opportunity to meet each other, giving them the chance to solve certain problems, because think about how many words of gratitude he has accumulated for him. Mr. Joe compares life to the act of planting a tree. When we plant a tree, we cannot be certain of its future growth or whether it will produce any fruit at all. It is possible that it may not bear fruit, but that is not the core issue. Without taking the initiative to plant anything, we forfeit the opportunity to enjoy the fruit of our labor. Mr. Joe has repeatedly found this truth to hold true throughout his life experiences over the years.
Mission to the moon. Continue with your mission.